All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is our second to last session in our boot camp today. This session is Ready, Set, Teach, a guided tour of the Banzai platform. We're super excited to show you this. This is going to be a really great demo walkthrough of our Banzai platform. So whether you are a new teacher that's never used Banzai before or a returning teacher just wanting to see how else you can use it, some of the new features that might have been added, this will be a great way to see it live in action with one of our best team members. Just a reminder, I think we've worked out most of our kinks, but if you do have audio issues, check for Bluetooth devices and other things that could be interfering there. Feel free to use the chat. We'd love to have you guys chiming in. It's been fun to see where everybody's chiming in from. All over the country. That's really super exciting. Especially today, if as we are going through this demo, you have questions or you're wondering about different things you're seeing on the screen, drop it in the chat. We have multiple team members in there to help answer your questions during this session. And continue to reach out after the session as well. We'd be happy to help you however we can. All right, and just a review of some of the sessions we've already done today. Again, this is our second to last one, and the closing keynote will be a little bit after we conclude this session, and it's all about putting on your own mask. We'll talk a little bit about that kind of towards the end, but that'll be our final closing session. It's going to be very good, all about what you need as teachers to be a good example to your students and also have the help that you need to take some stress off of your plate and be good examples of financial literacy. All right, I'm very excited to introduce Jenica. We are trying to keep you guys on your toes. I am Danica. She is Jenica. She is our teacher success manager here at Banzai. She oversees the inbound teacher support team and also works extensively with the education team as a key stakeholder for everything that influences Banzai teachers. If you have a question, Jenica can either answer it or help you track down the right person who can. She's a very knowledgeable person, perfect to be giving you a demo today and answering any of the questions that you have. So we are super excited to get going. Jenica, you ready to take it away for us?
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, hopefully my screen looks good and everything. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into just screen sharing the
Okay.
Banzai website. So let me pull that up really quick. Okay, you should be able to see our Banzai webpage now. If it's not working, someone holler at me. But I'm excited to walk you through the teacher platform. We're going to go over how to sign up as a new teacher, as well as talk about how to add students to your class, add assignments and curriculum, as well as how to track your student progress. And then at the very end, we'll do a little brief overview of what it looks like if you're a student who has joined a Banzai class. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and sign up. To do so, you'll just go to banzai.org. You're just going to select teacher sign up. It's going to take you to this page where you can enter your information. You can also choose to sign in through Google single sign-on. We also have the ability to log in with Clever or ClassLink. I'm going to go ahead and just create a little fake account for us. And then we will get started. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put in your zip code. That's going to pull up hopefully where your school is located. You can select your school. If you don't know, it's going to ask you for like a hint, or if your zip code doesn't pop up, at least it will ask you for a hint. That way we can help get you connected to the right school later on. The next thing it's going to show you is your community partner. So these are the local banks and credit unions that we partner with. They provide Banzai at no cost, and they love to be involved with our teachers. So it's going to show you who that partner is if you have one, and if not, we have a team that works on matching all of our teachers with a partner. Then go ahead and click Go to My Classes to log into your teacher dashboard. On this page here, you'll see where it says My Classes at the top, and Banzai has gone ahead and created one class for you already. That way you can just jump right in and get started. But you are welcome to create as many classes as you'd like. To do so, you'll just use this little blue tab on the upper right-hand side that says Add New Class. Give your class a name, and you'll have a second little box that pops up here. We'll go ahead and click on this class to jump right into our first class that Banzai created for us. And I'm sure most of you are going to want to change the name of the class, maybe to a class period, a semester, or the subject. So you can click on the settings icon here, go ahead and change the name and save those changes. You also have some other features in your class settings, such as allowing your students to see their test results or not. So you can manage that here. You can always archive or delete a class. You can also pick a fun little banner at the bottom. Once we close out of the class settings, we'll be back on our class page here. There's a couple tabs. You have your materials, assignments, gradebook, and students. And we're going to go over each of those, but we will go ahead and start with the students tab. When you click on it, you'll see a sample student that pops up. This basically acts as your own test student in your own class. So you don't have to create a student account and join your class to see what it looks like to be a student. You can use your sample student for that. We also allow the teachers to manage all of their students' accounts themselves due to student privacy. So looking at the sample student here to the right, there's three little dots. If you click on that, once they've joined, you'll see that you can open their account and reset their password for them. And I'm sure you're wondering, how do they join your class? So there's a little blue tab here that says Invite Students. Once you click on that, you'll see a couple of options. We have the ability to send them an email where you can put in each of their emails and email them a personal invite link. You can also have them just go directly to the Banzai website. So they can go to banzai.org. From there, they're going to sign up to be a student, and then it's going to ask them for your class code. And they're going to type in this 6-digit code that it gives you. There is also this URL that you could copy and paste into Google Classroom or any other learning platform that you use, and then they could join directly by clicking on that link. I will note that every class that you create will have its own unique code. So if you do have multiple classes, such as one for each class period or for each subject, they will want to type in the code that correlates with that class that they're joining. You can also see our student privacy laws and more information about that down here. There's a link to get a student privacy agreement signed with us if you need one, and we're happy to do that. Once we close out of this, we'll see that sample student again. You also have your code listed up at the top here that you can copy. And students can join multiple classes. If you have two teachers at your school, one that teaches digital citizenship, one that teaches personal finance, and they're both using Banzai, students can switch between the two classes by just switching between their two codes. And then, like I mentioned, you as the teacher will be able to manage their accounts. So all their names are going to pop up here, and you'll be able to track their progress. We'll get into that a little bit later, but first we're going to go ahead and add some materials to our class. So over here under the materials tab, you'll be able to browse our library. And I will just note the difference between like the materials tab and the assignments tab is the materials tab is the content that you're going to add to your class, all of the curriculum that you can use. And then the assignments are the actual activities that you're going to send to your students to complete. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click Add Materials. From here, Banzai is going to ask you a couple of questions just to get an idea of what grades you teach and what subjects. So I'll go ahead and just put high school, we'll do personal finance, and then it's going to take us to browse the library. In the library, you have a couple tabs at the top. The recommended tab, lesson plans, games, printables. The recommended tab is going to give you ideas based off of that questionnaire that you filled out on different lesson plans that you might want to use. So the courses, units, or games, it's going to recommend any of those that fit that criteria. And I'll walk through each one of those briefly. So the first one is the games. If you are a previous Banzai teacher, I'm sure you're familiar with these already. All of the content that we used to offer still exists. We've just structured it a little bit differently. So under the games, you can still filter by grade level subject, and it's going to show you all of the activities that we offer for that. This is where you can locate those interactive simulation games that you love, as well as the assessments. And you're welcome to click on a game and preview all of the activities and assign it to your class materials. But if you're looking for a little bit more structure, we do now offer lesson plans. So if you click on the lesson plans tab, you'll see those lesson plans that we have to offer. We have courses, which consist of a variety or a sequence of units that are ready to teach start to finish. And we have full semester and half semester. And then each unit consists of a variety of lessons within it. And then each lesson consists of instructional material that includes the interactive games and activities that you can assign for your students. You're welcome to explore all of them through here. We're going to go ahead and just add a unit to our class. So we'll just add career exploration. You can see this has 3 lesson plans in it, so it is designed to last 3 days. And we'll go ahead and add that to our materials. Back in our class, under our materials tab now, we have that unit that we've added, and you're welcome to add multiple units or an entire semester, half semester course. The materials tab in your class will allow you to easily locate and find that curriculum that you're looking for that specific class. So we'll go ahead and click on this unit. We have the 3 lessons that pop up. We're going to go ahead and start with the first one. Each lesson has an outline that you can follow and some additional instructional material, including like a bell ringer. Below that, you'll find the activities that you're going to want to assign your students in order to complete this particular lesson. If you need like an answer key or any printable, that will also be listed here in your lesson prep. And then down below that, you do have teacher slides, and the slides you can walk through with your students. They have notes to instruct you on how to go about teaching this topic. But we'll go ahead and assign the activities for this unit to our class. So if we click assign, you can make changes if you want to remove a specific activity. If not, go ahead and click assign. And then up at the top, you have this navigation bar. It shows you like the process and how you got to this page. And we're going to go ahead and go back to our class. So I'm just going to click on that first tab there. Back on our class, you'll see you've jumped into this unit, so you can hit resume to continue on for that lesson plan or for day 2 and to assign the activities for day 2's lesson. And then under the assignments tab, you now can see that you've assigned those 2 activities that were a part of that lesson. And this is what's going to be assigned for your students to complete. Once again, like the materials is the content and curriculum for you as the teacher that you're utilizing in your class, and then the assignments are the activities that you actually sent to your students for them to complete. From your assignments tab here, you can click on the assignment. This just allows you to manage the assignment a little bit, so you can edit or delete it, see overall how many have finished it, and then there's also a link that takes you directly to the gradebook. So we'll go ahead and click on that. And the gradebook can also be accessed from your class page. It's just a tab right next to the assignments. From here, though, you'll be able to see all of your students' progress and their scores. So like we see the sample student listed on the left, all your students' names will be listed there. And then to the right, you'll be able to see the different assignments and their scores and how they're doing. When you have multiple assignments in here, you can minimize them so that way you can focus on one particular assignment. That's how you can track their progress. And you can also click on a student's name individually to focus on that specific student's progress and dive deeper in how they're doing on an assignment. You can click on their name directly from here, or you can also go to the students tab and click on their name. When you click on an assignment, you'll be able to dive deeper into it, like what they got right on the pretest, what the correct answers were, and what they might have missed. Now that we've kind of showed you a little bit about how to add materials and assignments to your class, view student progress, I'm going to show you what it looks like if you're a student who's joined this class. And every class you create will have a little tab at the top that says Preview Class. you can just click on it and it's going to open up a student view. This is exactly what it's going to look like for any student that's joined this class. They will see the activities that you've assigned for them to complete so that they can jump in and work their way through those. One thing that's nice about this student view is it also allows you to play through the class as if you were a student. So you're welcome to start the game, take the quiz yourself. Anything that you complete through here is going to be recorded underneath of that sample student. And that can give you an idea on how those scores are reflected back on the teacher interface. We also offer our program in a variety of languages, and students can change their language option by clicking on their profile name in the upper right-hand corner, and then they'll be able to change the language to their native language or whatever would help them the best to complete the program. In the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see a little black bar that says viewing as teacher and a return button. So we'll go ahead and hit return. That is going to take us back to the teacher interface. And now that we've kind of gone through your class setup, there's a couple of tabs at the top I just want to go over quickly. One of them is that library tab. You can get there from your materials tab within your class, or you can click on it directly. And from here, you can once again explore all of the lesson plans and activities that we offer. So if you want to come in and preview any of the games, you can do so through here. You can take a look at any of our courses or units, and then feel free to add those materials to your class. Using the filters, you'll be given recommendations under our recommended tab. And then along with the games and lesson plans, all of our principles are located in the library as well. So anything that you might need to download or print yourself, a worksheet, or maybe an answer key, those are located here. One of the other tabs that's at the top is the workbooks tab. And if you click on that, if you have a local community partner, you can go ahead and request workbooks for your classroom. We now offer them in English and Spanish. So you can go ahead and select which workbook you want, how many of each you need, and if you want them in English or Spanish. We have the PDFs available in the library or here for you to preview the workbooks as well. And it's also going to talk about who that local community partner is that provides those at the top. If you have a large class, there is like an order limit of 100 per category on here, but if you do teach more students than that, please reach out to us. We can help place an order on our end for you. You can do that by chatting with us directly through this little link here. This is the phone number that you can reach us at. And then in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, there's also a little blue circle with like a white speech bubble. And that's our online chat. So you can send us a message to there if you have any questions, and we're typically able to reply back really quickly. I work with our wonderful support specialists, and they are excited and willing to help you. You can also sign up through here for a time to walk through the program one-on-one with us. So if you forget anything we went over or have additional questions and they don't get answered during this webinar, please reach out. At the very top of your account, you'll also find a partner tab if you have a local community partner. Under this tab, you'll see who that is. You'll see their information, so you can always reach out to them. And they are a local bank or credit union who sponsors the program and are so gracious to provide these materials. And they love to be involved with the teachers. So feel free to send them a thank you note, or you can also request a lesson through here where they can set up a presentation with you and your students, whether that is virtually or in person, or oftentimes they even do field trips. But that is kind of a general overview of the teacher platform. Danica, do we have any questions that have come through, or anyone that wants me to show them something in specific on the platform?
One question we had that Natalie has answered, but I do think it's important to address here. If you add the semester-long class, is it populating that for all of your students so they can see everything that's ahead of them, or do we have the ability to hide those until we are reaching those? Natalie did answer that you can choose which assignments are visible. They'll show up in your materials, and then they will not show up for the students until you click assign. Do you want to add any detail to that?
No, that's correct. And I can just kind of visualize show that again. So in your library, when you pick a course or a unit that you're wanting to add to your class, when you hit add to materials here, it's not adding everything to your students. So you're not assigning everything right away. You're just adding the content for you to be able to access that from your class. Like I said, you can do that directly from your materials tab within your class, or if you were to do it from the library tab, you can choose which classes to assign it to. And then once it's been added to your materials and you open it up within each unit or lesson plan, you as the teacher have access to the outline, the slides. The students don't have access to that. They will only have access to whatever you assign. And each day you can come in, see what's required for your lesson prep, and assign those activities. And then back in your class, the assignments tab is what they will actually have been assigned. So even if you add that whole course, it's not going to add it all to your students right away. So you don't have to panic about that. And you can always edit it. So if you click on this assignment and click edit, if you needed to remove something, you could also remove it from your class. Great question.
Fantastic. And I think you kind of have touched on partners. You just had another question that's pretty critical to a lot of teachers. Is there a place to find if I have a community partner?
Yeah, so if you have a community partner, it's going to let you know when you first sign up, but you will see that you'll see a partner tab. If you don't have one yet, you won't see a partner tab. So if you're missing a partner tab, that means that currently your school doesn't have a community partner. One reason might be that the wrong school got added to your account. So feel free to click on your account, go to your account settings. Down at the bottom, you can make sure that the correct school is linked. And then if you don't currently have one, no worries. We have a team that works on trying to find every teacher and every school a community partner. But if you currently have one, you'll see that partner tab with their information.
Cool. We have a question from Logan. Instead of pushing assignments through Google Classroom, can students use the workbooks instead? Do the workbooks align to the units and lessons? I can speak to the last one, that yes, the workbooks do align with the lessons. So if you are going through a lesson plan and you see that there is a workbook assigned with it or a couple of pages of the workbook that is integrated with that lesson plan, it's going to show up in the slides of that lesson and be referred, like referenced in during the lesson. So it does absolutely align. As far as using the workbooks instead, you absolutely can, but I think we also have the question of what do we do with the paper worksheets? Do we upload those? Um, Correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding is we do have a lot of requests from teachers to find offline activities, whether it's because they have limits on screen time or lack of access to Chromebooks or other screens or internet, or for sub days or other things. There is a use case for the paper workbooks, and the idea then was that they would turn those into the teacher. So those wouldn't, only the article or like the workbook will show up as a file, but wouldn't necessarily be graded within the platform. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. So every day the lesson plan will tell you what you need to assign. And a lot of the lesson plans, the activity for the day is a page from the workbook. So that will be you'll be able to assign to your students that they need to complete that, but they will complete it by hand. So the articles or the worksheets or a page from the workbook, they'll complete those by hand and then turn those into you. All of our interactive simulation games and assessments will automatically be graded online. And then students from the student view, if they were assigned an article or a worksheet, there's a box for them to be able to check off that they completed it, and then they can turn that in. But Danica, you're correct. We do have a lot of teachers that do request due to screen time limits, or maybe they don't have internet at their schools due to other restrictions. The workbooks can be completed completely without internet access. So you don't necessarily need any of our online games or articles to complete those. And all of those are available to preview in the printables. And just one thing I also want to clarify is that the games and the activities here are the same content that's going to be available in the lesson plans or the units. It's just structured in a way to let you know when and how to assign it to your students along with additional instructional material. So you will complete the workbook within the unit or within the course that you've assigned to your class. But if you want to use it in other ways, Banzai has always been designed to work supplementally along with your other teaching materials. So you can do that as well. Any other questions that came through?
I think we've got most of just a couple of technical questions I think that are getting answered in the chat just about supporting a lot of traffic with lots of teachers and students logging in. Um, I think that's looking pretty good. Mallory, are there any other questions that you think we should answer here? Are there elementary lesson plans since there are workbooks? That's a great question. That is in the works. We are very excited to be developing more elementary supporting content and lesson plans as well. So keep an eye on the library and the different classes and courses that you can add because it will definitely be coming soon. Okay. You want me to close out with our blurb
Yeah, that sounds great.
about our super awesome and fun scholarship here. We've mentioned this a few times that we are going to sponsor a teacher to attend this Jumpstart National Educator Conference. We've heard lots of great things about this from everybody who's spoken today. It's very, very impressive and a great way to further develop your education here. So the details of the conference are here. If you have attended 2 sessions, you are automatically going to be entered for a chance to win that scholarship. And we're super excited to help send one of you to go to that awesome conference and learn more about financial literacy. And then next up is our final session. We're very excited about this one. This will feature Casey and Rick, and it's titled Putting On Your Mask First. It's so that you can understand your own personal financial literacy, where you're at with that, and things to help you maximize your skills and knowledge in that area to make you a more prolific personal finance teacher. So we're very, very excited to hear from these two. If you guys come back in a few minutes, you'll be able to hear this last final session. So be sure to stick with us. For the next one, you will receive a PD certificate. This will be emailed to you tomorrow that you can be using for your development hours. So that will show up tomorrow. If you would like a walkthrough for using Banzai, Janik did an incredible job there, but there's still a lot in the platform. So if you still have questions or you want to know how it can be used specifically for your classroom or with your school's, parameters, please scan the QR code now, set up a time. We would love to come help you understand the platform, give you a tour, and answer questions that are specific to you. And follow along. We do lots of giveaways. We love to try and treat you teachers to as we wish we could give you everything that you deserve. But we are trying to do what we can do. So you will be able to enter giveaways and receive free things if you follow along on any of these channels. So any of these that you use, come find us and follow and interact. And I think that's it for this session. We good? Any other notes? Everybody happy? Okay. Thank you so much.